the topic is prana and asana. Prana and asana, how those two things fit together. So previously, you know, basic translation of prana might be something like life force. One of the most um, accessible ways that we can relate to prana or life force is just by way of sensation. By way of sensation. Like right now, you occupy a certain body of sensations, right? And they seem to more or less follow us around. So some similar version of this felt sense of being alive follows us around throughout the day, and then maybe there's an emotional spike here or emotional drop there, etc. But there's something of a reliable constant, or at least we try to orient towards the comfortable constant. Um, in our experience, that we could just kind of say, well, there's a mood there, there's an energy there, there's a sensation there, right? And that is a really fertile place to begin to explore the principle of prana. Some conversations may make it out to be, more abstract or mystical or inaccessible, like everyone else has prana except for me, kind of assumptions. But I'm saying it's the very felt life force of your lived experience is an expression of prana. And whether that be a depressed form, or whether that be an elated form, or whether that be a steady form, there's an energy signature to every state that we're in. Sometimes I like to ask the question, if we experience, do we experience the world? Do we experience the world? And then there's a little silence that hums in the air. And I say, no, we don't experience the world. We experience our own energy. We experience our own energy. This is the thing that kind of follows us around from the beginning of the show on up to the end, right? There's a young person grade of this, a middle-aged grade of this, and older like it's there. It's right there with heartache. It's right there when your son or daughter was born. Like it's there. There's a signature. And yoga then, or in particular yoga asana, is a pathway for mindfully adjusting that field. So asana can be used therapeutically isn't exactly the word, but it can be skillfully, mindfully used to adjust the felt sense of being you. And there's a methodology to it. It's not random. Just take any old pose and the other one and put it together and like, well, kind of looks like a dolphin. Um, there's a way that we can methodically progress through asana in a way that can elevate our energy, or have us settle or calm down, or leave us in a more neutral space. Right? And the primary kind of point of, yes, that has a lot to do with your energy, but it's also coupled with this idea how you arrange your spine. So you can arrange your spine in one of six ways. You can do a forward fold, you can do back bend, do a twist, do a lateral, you can invert, you can keep it neutral, right? So each one of those has their own energy signature too. Like a back bend feels very different than a forward fold, right? It's not rocket science. And let us be mindful, methodical, deliberate about how we adjust our spine through the poses in support of adjusting our field of experience, or our energy, or prana, right? That's the kind of I don't know, I just want to smile when I say that, right? Like that's the kind of dance I love sharing and exploring and researching in my own practice as well, and what I intend to share with you this evening. And honestly, have been sharing all along, but like there's the man behind the curtain, right? Just pull that back, and that's the playbook that I've been drawing from this whole time. And there's a few other things we can do with, bandhas and breath ratios and stuff. That there's a number of ways to adjust our energy, but I just want to showcase this thing about the spine. That like if you sit like this all the time, that's going to rub off into your energy and your psyche. If you sit more upright, that will have an impression too. Very, very intelligent of nature to kind of weave it together. And it may be worth noting that of all the creatures on the earth, as far as I know, humans have the most kind of vertical axis orientation, and that is also reflected in our consciousness. Right? We have imaginative and insight capacities that are pretty unique among all the creatures of the earth. And guess what? We're the ones whose spine goes like this, ascend, descend. Right? We can point our spine to heaven, or we can point our spine to not heaven. All right. So, and there's some colorful other options here too, in terms of what we do. It's not all ascend. There's navigating this space through skillful articulation of our spine. Okay, so with that, if you would please, let's come onto our back with your head towards me.